potentially disruptive trends is a shift in the wireless in wireless networking to look more like the wired internet infrastructure in terms of its openness. Its openness to connecting devices, its openness to applications, its openness to business model, and the openness that allowed the wired internet to scale and be a platform for so much innovation for large companies and small doesn't exist as much in the wireless infrastructure because it still remains a walled garden. So there is a potential for incredible disruption and incredible innovation if broadband suddenly became an open network which encompassed both wired and wireless more seamlessly. The combination of mobility and sensors as applied to the environment, to energy, to healthcare, to education, some of our major problems, but not so much disruption in the technology itself, but as it is more accessible and affordable, figuring out how to use these technologies in new ways. Imaging is a good example. What imaging is doing for understanding the brain, or what advances in microprocessors and technology is done for robotics, which then can be used for prosthetics, for instance. So it is, to me, the most disruptive and the most exciting areas of an IT and communications actually have to do with taking the macro issues, the big problems we have of energy, environment, healthcare, and education, and combining that with nano and IT and communications and applying these technologies in new ways to solve the big problems that we have. There are a whole set of application trends that, as they become more and more ingrained in the way we live our lives, have opportunities to be disruptive to industries, whether it's journalism or the movie business, and disruptive in terms of there can also be negative disruption. If you look at social networking, you look at things like Facebook, LinkedIn, phenomenal in terms of finding people and accessing people. I still don't think we know what the impact of these technologies are going to be over the long term on our youth that have grown up living online. What are going to be the social or ethical kind of, how are they going to act when they grow up and have lived their whole life? So we haven't yet seen a generation that has grown up online.